There is a kind of tiredness that does not begin with a difficult day. It begins with the first few seconds of looking around your home. You walk into the kitchen and see the mail that still needs an answer, a bowl holding 3 unrelated objects, 2 appliances on the counter, and a bag that never made it back to the closet. Nothing is disastrous. The room may even be clean, yet your eyes keep finding reminders, and your mind starts working before you choose what deserves attention. For many women after 40, that is the real desire behind a calmer home. It is not about making the house look empty or copying a perfect style. It is about creating fewer visual demands, fewer repeated decisions, and fewer small irritations that follow you through the day. These 10 Japanese-inspired home habits borrow gently from design ideas often associated with simplicity, thoughtful use of space, and respect for what is left open. This is not a claim about how every Japanese person lives. It is a practical way to take inspiration without turning another culture into a stereotype. You do not need a minimalist home. You only need to notice which parts support daily life and which parts quietly make it harder. Here are 10 places to begin. A room can be organized and still feel busy. You may have trays, baskets, shelves, and carefully arranged groups, but your eyes still have to take in every object that remains visible. The coffee supplies, vitamins, papers, chargers, decorative signs, spare containers, and things waiting to be moved somewhere else all compete for a small piece of attention. When many objects remain visible, it can take more effort to decide where to look. That does not make decoration harmful or bare surfaces necessary. It simply means that seeing less at once may make a space easier to read. Start with one surface you look at every day. Perhaps it is the kitchen counter beside the sink, the bathroom vanity, or the table near the front door. Do not ask, "How can I organize everything here?" Ask what actually needs to remain visible. Keep the objects that serve that spot. Move the rest to a clear, convenient home. You are not trying to create an empty photograph. You are giving your eyes a quieter place to land. Sometimes the room does not need better decoration. It needs fewer things asking to be noticed. Many small frustrations begin with an object that has no dependable resting place. The keys are on the counter today and inside a coat pocket tomorrow. The scissors move between 3 rooms. The reading glasses disappear beneath a magazine. A return package waits near the door, then gets moved to a chair, then back to the hallway. None of these problems is large. That is exactly why they can repeat for months. A clear home for an object removes a decision from the day. You know where to put it, and you know where to look for it. The most useful place is usually close to where the object is used, not where a beautiful organizing system says it should go. Put the everyday bag on the hook you naturally pass. Keep the scissors where paper is actually opened. Give incoming mail one small landing place rather than allowing it to spread across several surfaces. Place frequently used cooking tools within easy reach and move rarely used items farther away. The system should be obvious enough to use when you are tired. You do not need perfect labels or matching containers. You need fewer moments of searching and deciding. A supportive home does not make you remember a complicated system. It helps you remember less. Overwhelm usually arrives gradually. One sweater lands on a chair. A glass remains on the bedside table. A receipt joins the charger, the hand cream, and the book you finished last month. The bathroom counter collects an empty box and a product you stopped using. Each item seems too minor to deal with immediately. Then one day the space no longer feels neutral. It feels like a task. A small reset is not the same as cleaning the whole room. It means returning one limited area to a usable baseline before it becomes emotionally heavier than the work itself. Choose spaces that affect your daily rhythm. The place where you make coffee, the chair beside your bed, one section of the bathroom counter, or the surface you see when you enter the house. Give the reset a clear ending. Remove rubbish. Return misplaced items. Wipe the area only when it needs wiping. Then stop. The exact time matters less than keeping the task small enough to repeat without resentment. Do not turn every pause into a cleaning opportunity. That would create another form of pressure. The habit is simply to notice when a small space is beginning to work against you and restore it before it becomes a weekend project. Beauty matters. Warmth matters. Personal objects can make a home feel like your own. But some objects look pleasing while making ordinary life more difficult. A collection of small decorations has to be moved whenever the surface is cleaned. A beautiful storage box is too awkward to open with one hand. Decorative pillows spend every night on the floor. A complicated display blocks the outlet you use every day. A container looks perfect, but does not fit the things it is supposed to hold. Choosing simple over decorative does not mean rejecting beauty. It means allowing usefulness to be part of beauty. A plain basket that works may support you more than an elaborate one that catches on the shelf. Everyday dishes that stack easily may feel calmer than a mixed collection requiring careful handling. Look at one object that repeatedly creates extra work and ask whether it earns that work. You do not need to remove everything decorative. Keep what gives genuine pleasure, memory warmth, or meaning. Question what is present, mainly because the room seemed incomplete without it. A home becomes easier when the things inside it cooperate with real life. An open area can look unfinished when you are used to filling every surface. A clear shelf seems to need a vase. A blank wall seems to need another picture. An empty corner seems to need a chair, a plant, or a small table. Before long, every part of the room has been assigned an object. One idea often discussed in Japanese art and design is a pause gap or meaningful space between things. We do not need to treat that idea as a decorating rule. The useful reminder is simply that absence can contribute to a composition. What is left open can matter as much as what is displayed. Try leaving part of a shelf empty. Allow a section of countertop to remain clear. Remove one item from a crowded corner and wait before replacing it. At first, the open area may feel strange because your eye expects something there. Give it time. Empty space makes individual objects easier to see. It can also make the room feel less demanding because every surface is not carrying a message, memory, or task. You are not wasting space. You are deciding that not every inch must be occupied. That can be a meaningful practice in a life where so much time and attention already belong to other people and responsibilities. A routine is only helpful when it can survive an ordinary week. Many home systems are designed for a version of you who is fully rested, uninterrupted, and motivated. They include too many steps, too many categories, or a standard that takes more energy than it saves. Then the routine breaks, and instead of questioning the system, you question yourself. Make repetition easier by reducing the number of steps. A kitchen closing routine might clear the main preparation surface, handle the dishwasher, and place tomorrow morning's essentials together. It need not include every cleaning task. An entryway routine might be shoes in one place, bag on one hook, and anything that must leave tomorrow placed beside the door. A bedroom reset might be clothes off the floor, water ready, and the bedside surface cleared enough to use. The best routine is not the one that handles everything. It is the one you can complete on a low-energy day without feeling punished by it. When a routine keeps failing, make it smaller before trying to become stricter. Remove a step. Reduce the frequency. Change the storage location. Let good enough be the version that protects consistency. A calmer home is more likely to come from 3 repeatable actions than from a 12-step plan you avoid. The entryway carries more than shoes and coats. It often holds unfinished movement. A bag needs to be returned. A parcel needs to be mailed. Shoes need to be sorted. A form needs to leave with someone tomorrow. An umbrella is drying. A donation box has been waiting for 2 weeks. Because the entrance is a transition point, these items easily collect there. But when the area becomes crowded, arriving home can feel like meeting a queue of tasks. Keeping the entryway light means deciding what truly belongs in that transition space. Give everyday shoes a limit. Keep only the bags and outerwear used in the current season nearby. Create one temporary place for things that must leave the house, then empty it regularly. Remove objects that have been on the way out for so long that they have become part of the furniture. Aim for enough open floor to enter comfortably and enough clarity to see what requires action. This is not about creating a perfect foyer. Many homes have only a narrow hallway or a small patch beside the door. The principle still works. Let the first few feet of your home say, "You have arrived," rather than "Here is everything you still need to remember." Cleaning becomes much heavier when it carries a story about personal failure. The counter is not just dirty, it becomes proof that you have fallen behind. The laundry is not simply waiting, it becomes evidence that you should have managed the week better. Rest starts to feel irresponsible until every visible task is complete. That story can make a normal household job feel emotionally loaded. Try replacing the language of correction with the language of maintenance. You wipe the table because the table is used. You clean the shower because water and soap leave marks. You wash clothes because people wear them. These are repeating needs of a lived-in home, not a moral scorecard. Maintenance also has limits. You can decide what level of care is enough for today. You can clean what supports health, comfort, and function without turning every session into a rescue operation. Some days that means a full task. Other days it means doing the part that matters most. This shift will not make every chore enjoyable. It can, however, remove some of the shame and overcorrection that make cleaning harder to begin and harder to stop. Your home needs ongoing care. It does not need you to punish yourself into providing it. You may not be able to make the entire house calm. Other people live there. Work happens there. Meals are prepared. Laundry moves through, conversations overlap, and shared spaces change throughout the day. Instead of demanding calm everywhere, choose one room or one small part of a room where visual noise stays lower. It might be the bedroom, a chair beside a window, one end of the living room, or a small reading corner. The space does not need to be private or luxurious. It only needs fewer competing objects and fewer unfinished tasks. Remove items that belong elsewhere. Keep the lighting comfortable. Limit the surface to what supports the activity you want there. Perhaps that is reading, resting, writing, drinking tea, or simply sitting for a few minutes without immediately seeing another job. The room will not always remain perfect. The purpose is one reliable place where your attention is not pulled in 6 directions. When the rest of the home feels active, you know where to go for a quieter visual experience. Calm becomes more realistic when it has an actual place to exist. The most useful question in home organization may not be, "What should I buy?" It may be, "What keeps irritating me?" Notice the drawer that catches every time you open it, the container with no matching lid, the chair that blocks the natural walking path, the heavy bin you avoid because it is difficult to lift, the decorative object that must be moved several times a day, the crowded cupboard that makes one frequently used pan difficult to reach. Repeated friction can hide inside familiar routines. You stop seeing the cause and simply accept the annoyance as part of daily life. Choose one irritation and make it easier. Move the object, remove the object. Replace it only when a replacement is truly needed. Lower the shelf. Reduce the number of items in the drawer. Store the frequently used tool at the front. Stop maintaining a system that nobody in the house follows. This is not about discarding carelessly. An object can be useful in theory and still be wrong for your actual life. Your time and energy are also household resources. Protecting them is a practical form of care. Before adding another organizer routine or decorative solution, remove the obstacle that keeps creating the problem. A calmer home after 40 is not necessarily a home with fewer possessions than everyone else. It is a home with fewer things competing for your attention, fewer systems that depend on perfect energy, and fewer objects that make normal tasks unnecessarily difficult. Keep fewer things visible. Give everyday objects a clear home. Reset small spaces before they feel heavy. Choose simple over decorative. Respect empty space. Use routines that are easy to repeat. Keep entryways light. Treat cleaning as maintenance rather than punishment. Let one room feel quiet. Remove what makes daily life harder. These habits are Japanese-inspired, not rules about how Japanese people live. They borrow from simplicity, intentional placement, and meaningful space, then apply those ideas to ordinary homes. You do not need to perform calm. You do not need an empty house or a perfect routine. Begin with one place that repeatedly asks too much from you. Clear one surface. Give one object a home. Remove one irritation. Let one small area remain open. Then notice what changes when your home gives some attention back instead of continuously requesting more. In the comments, share the number from 1 to 10 that would make the biggest difference in your home right now. And subscribe to Calm Her Daily for practical ways to create a calmer home, reduce mental load, and protect your energy without cleaning all day.